We begin with breaking news. After a 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit off the northern coast of Japan. It happened just a few hours ago, around 4:53 p.m. in Japan. Some small tsunamis have been reported in the area. The U.S. National Tsunami Warning Center says a tsunami is not expected here on the west coast. There are no reports of damage or injuries in Japan so far. Thanks for joining us here at 6 a.m. on this Monday. Hope you had a nice weekend, everyone. I'm Eric Connors.
And I'm Netta Iranport. It certainly was warm, sunny. Meteorologist Vanessa Paz here to let us know. Can that continue, please? There was talk of rain for the week.
Right,
Yeah, we're going to be nice today.
Okay.
Temperatures are going to take a little bit of a drop, though, especially for the inland valleys. Not so much for the coastal spots. The coastal spots will stay pretty comparable to what we saw yesterday. But tomorrow, temperatures are going to drop, all due to an incoming storm that could bring us some very light, isolated showers if we don't see any showers at all. Where you live, for example, you'll maybe encounter some heavy mist and light drizzle out there as those clouds start to build and that moisture surges. As we take a look at temperatures out the door, we're waking up to scattered high 50s and low 60s across our most populated neighborhoods. In comparison to the same time yesterday, we're trending a little warmer, all due to the increase of those clouds. Today, as I mentioned, we're looking at a nice afternoon. But we do have changes on the way, all due to two storms that are set to arrive. So we'll talk more about that a little later on in my full forecast. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. Now, this morning, Iran is vowing to retaliate after President Donald Trump says a San Diego-based Navy ship seized an Iranian vessel that was trying to break a U.S. blockade. Video shows the USS Spruance firing on the Iranian ship. Another new video shows Marines from the USS Tripoli boarding the Iranian vessel. Iran called it an act of maritime piracy. Over the weekend, Iran reversed course on the opening of the Strait of Hormuz. This comes as U.S. negotiators head to Pakistan today for more talks. News here at home now. Today, Mayor Todd Gloria's draft of the fiscal year 2027 budget will be formally presented to the San Diego City Council.
And it calls for major cuts to services and programs. News 8's Tori Apodaca live downtown with some of the concerns raised this morning here, Tori.
Hi, good morning. San Diego Fire says that some of these cuts could end up making response times a bit slower. Mayor Todd Gloria, though, has said that public safety is a priority when it comes to funding. But as we know, it is facing an $146 million budget deficit. Citywide, 157 layoffs are being proposed, with a cut to 48 middle managers. The fire department layoffs include a recruitment officer, community resources fire captain, fire information officer, and fire academy instructor, with their bomb squad losing 3 fire captains and 3 fire engineers. Between both sets of layoffs, the city says they will save over $2.8 million. But San Diego Fire says this just means someone else will need to cover these positions, and they are already stretched thin. Homelessness is also taking a hit, with the city pulling its funding for the Neil Good Day Center, operated by Father Joe's Villages.
At the data today, we have made substantial reductions in those kinds of positions. And a reminder that that does not come without impact. These are not folks that are just sitting around. These are folks that are doing important work.
And we've also learned about cuts coming to libraries and recreation centers. Again, Mayor Todd Gloria is presenting that budget proposal to council today, with public hearings throughout the month of May before they formally adopt it in June. Reporting in San Diego, Tori Apodaca, News 8.
Tori, thank you. Well, the Padres may soon have a new owner. Sources confirming to News 8 that a record-setting multi-billion-dollar sale of the team could be imminent.
Yeah, this has so many people talking, curious what's going on here. The reporter who broke the story says an announcement could come as soon as today, where we finally hear from the Padres. News 8's Chris Groh live near Petco Park to tell us all that we have learned so far. Chris, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Look, there's been a lot of questions, especially when we first found out that the Seidler family would be exploring options into selling the team, right? So would they stay? Who it is that would bid on the Padres? Well, we are getting a lot clearer answers here, and that starts with the fact that we have this bid here for $3.9 billion coming from Jose Feliciano and his wife, Kwanzaa Jones. Now, this would be an MLB record. In fact, it would shatter the previous record that was set back in 2020 when the New York Mets sold to Steve Cohen for $2.4 billion. Now, obviously, we have to wait and see exactly what the announcement will entail, what the final bid amount actually will end up being. But we spoke with News 8 did, our Jake Garriani did, with Jared Diamond, who broke the story for the Wall Street Journal. He said that there has been a lot of concern about Feliciano's ties to private equity, his history with the Chelsea Football Club, which he currently is a part owner of. But Diamond says that some of that may be misunderstood. Take a listen.
The private equity guy from Los Angeles. Very valid criticism. You hear private equity guy buys a business and it makes you recoil, understandably. But I would point out that the Padres have previously been bought from a private equity guy from Los Angeles. His name was Peter Seidler.
All right, so the timeline now is that when we do get an announcement, that will start the process. The next owners meeting is in June. That's key because this requires 75% of owners' approval, so they're going to go ahead and vote on this. Again, likely that takes place in June, but that does mean that we could potentially see the Padres in new hands by late summer. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Chris, for that. Of course, we will stay on top of this story. And now, this morning, a man is in custody accused of a violent rampage in southeastern San Diego. Police say it started with a fight between the suspect and bar security on Cardiff Street just before 2 a.m. yesterday. Investigators say the suspect grabbed a shotgun and fired into the air before security wrestled it away. Police say he got back in his truck, rammed multiple cars, you see all the damage there, and then crashed into a restaurant entrance before driving away. A police helicopter tracked him to Cadman Street where he slammed into a home there. A woman was knocked unconscious and had to be taken to the hospital.
This morning, a brush fire in Black Mountain Ranch, 100% contained. The 2-acre fire started around 3:30 p.m. yesterday in a canyon near Atkins Place and Tanner Ridge Road. I don't live too far away from here, so I stopped to get an update from the fire crews. They did a great job putting this out, although there were some residents that were a bit scared about this. Smoke could be seen from miles away, so it was great to see the forward rate of spread stopping. Some nervous homeowners. It all stopped around 5 p.m. You can see those homes right up there on the ridge. This is in the Del Sur community, a lot of rooftop in that area. No evacuation orders, and it was quite impressive to see how they were able to knock it all down. And it was, I felt some of the brush there. It's really dry in that area.
It's dry. Yeah. Oh, it looks like you can tell. Yeah. But yeah, they really attack it so quickly. Protected all those houses right there.
And unfortunately, we're staying fairly dry.
No rain.
No rain.
Okay.
I know that last week we were predicting that we could have some shower activity as early as tomorrow, but right now the chances have dropped to about 5 to 10%.
That's it.
Dried up.
So we might have some rain next weekend, but it looks like this system will not be really packing a huge punch in terms of moisture. We will have a surge, though, of clouds along with increasing winds with this incoming storm, but as far as measurable rain, we likely won't see any. As far as current temperatures go, we are waking up fairly mild in the mid to high 50s across the coast and inland valley floors. So temperatures right now, all due to those increasing clouds, we're waking up slightly warmer than 24 hours ago. As we take a look at our satellite and radar composite, here are the clouds that I'm mentioning. We have a mix of sun and clouds out there as the sun slowly starts to light up the sky, but it is pretty overcast for the most part, especially the closer to the coastal and beach neighborhoods that you are. Thankfully, those clouds are high enough off the surface where they're not really causing visibility issues. In fact, we're in pretty good shape when it comes to our major freeways. No major fog out there whatsoever. Here's what I'm talking about. We have a mix of clear skies along with some increasing clouds along the coastal areas. We are going to see partly sunny skies later on this afternoon and will warm up fairly nicely. We'll be in the mid-70s for the inland valleys. I'm forecasting highs in the 60s for spots like Palomar Mountain, mid-70s in Ramona, and we'll aim for highs in the upper 60s, low 70s, pretty similar to yesterday for the beaches. High 60s and low 70s for the mountain areas, and then we'll shoot into the low 90s for our desert communities. Here's what I'm talking about in terms of the rain chances. This is for the inland valleys. We will see them quite low all the way through about Thursday. As I mentioned, we're not in the clear. We might see a pop-up shower here or there tomorrow, but our most populated neighborhoods will likely see some heavy mist, light drizzle. And then if we do see showers, they're more likely in our mountain neighborhoods in those higher elevations. We are going to deal with some pretty strong winds, though, along with cool temperatures tomorrow, and we'll actually take a deeper dive into that later on in my full forecast. All right, 6:10 is the time. Let's go ahead and see what's happening on your freeways. Let's see if our Caltrans cameras will work for us this morning. Looks like this one's asleep. Let's go ahead and fast forward. Yeah, all of our Caltrans cameras are down, so we'll go ahead and take you to our traffic maps. About 5 to 15, or excuse me, on the 5 and the 15, we're at 70 to 80 mile per hour speeds. We had a big closure this weekend on the 805 South, and then this coming weekend, we have that closure on the 805 North from the 52 up to Sorrento Valley. But mind you, if it rains, these projects will be delayed, so they will not have those closures. Just keep that in mind. 65 to 70 mile per hour speeds on the 5 and the 805. This is coming in from the South Bay, and then here's what it looks like in terms of your travel times. Really good shape right now coming in from Chula Vista National City. You're looking at a 10 to 15 minute drive headed northbound, under 5 minutes to get you across to the city of Coronado coming in from downtown San Diego. 70 mile per hour speeds, just about that is what we're averaging coming in from the East County. And then here's what it looks like out of the North County. 10 to 15 minutes for all of those drives headed south or even headed west coming in from Escondido via the 78. All right, 6:11 is the time. Let's go ahead and pull up those border wait times for you and see what we're working with. About 1 hour 40 to get you across from San Ysidro's port of entry. It's a little better to cross in from Otay Mesa's port of entry, about 40 minutes less at last check this Monday morning. Back to you guys.
Wow, okay, thank you very much, Vanessa. Still ahead, new details after the tragic shooting deaths of 8 children in Louisiana.
Oh, horrific details. Plus, what forced a hot air balloon to land in a Temecula backyard? And the celebration for a high school principal who tackled a gunman.
And coming up this morning at 9 a.m. on the CBS 8 app, join Chris Grow and Jack Holt for our Right Now show. Today's 420. They'll be discussing the state of marijuana laws. Again, be sure to watch on the CBS 8 app. You can stream now for free.